I'm reading Evie, and I'm here to talk about The Ghost and the Twins by Bobbi Holmes. Number 33. I'm only getting closer. While the mediums of Beach Drive prepare for the anticipated arrival of the twins, their world is disrupted when a new police chief comes to Frederickport Police Department. I'll get to that. Brian's ex-wife returns to town, and the antics of Marie's ghost just might get Heather sent to prison. That one is funny. We'll get to that. Brian's ex-wife, Camilla, is moving back to town. Fun. I can't remember if it was Camille or Camilla, so I kind of go back and forth. I couldn't really hear. Camilla thinks Brian is faking a relationship with Heather to make her jealous, all because Heather didn't sound bothered. Oh, I made a typo. I said bother. Didn't sound bothered to leave them at the restaurant while she finds a way home. Because they gave Laura a surprise going away party because she's finally leaving town for her journey. Because she was planning after the last book when she lost her job. I forgot to include it on that one, but it wasn't that important. She was including on basically backpacking. I don't know if it was the world, but basically, I don't even know if it was the country actually. Whatever. At some point, she was also going to go through Europe, so there's that. But anyways, so they were at the restaurant, and he saw Camille there, and yeah, apparently Heather should have been more bothered. Meanwhile, they were married for 25 years, so that's a really long time to be married. And, I mean, it's been 10 years since the divorce, though, so it's not like she was really that worried. I might have been, but whatever. If you're with the person you trust, great. Which I am, so whatever. I do not like Clay. That's an understatement. He is evil, and I hope he dies. You'll see why. He's the replacement chief, while Edward is having his knee replacement. He grabbed Danny's wrist, first of all, and wouldn't let go while she was heading to his office, not knowing that Edward wasn't there, and he's shooting the receptionist like crap, and now he's starting to shoot Honey, the worst offense. I do not like him. So, right before Danny and Walt arrived, he was trying to make some new changes, which was understandable. He wanted more stricter visitor passes and all that, sign-in sheets and all that, and for them, actually good dark so fast. Anyways, and for the guests to wear the visitor badge or whatever. Understandable. I get it. I don't blame him for that. However, the receptionist, whose name I had forgotten, whatever, she had to leave because her kid got hurt. And so Brian and Joe, I think it was Brian, well, they both walked in, but Brian is the one that ended up was yeah, I'll cover for you for the phones, whatever. And so he didn't know any of that because she didn't have time to tell him. And so Danny walked in, Danny and Walt. I think Walt went to the bathroom or something, and Danny went to go find the office, well, not find, but go to the office. And so she was about to walk in, and so he grabbed her and wouldn't let go, and he kept asking who are you, but he was grabbing so hard she was let go, and he would not listen, and he was just on and on about how, oh, you didn't identify yourself. It's yeah, you're hurting her, let her go. But whatever. I don't blame him for being suspicious because he didn't know Danny. I get that. And being pregnant isn't exactly you're automatically innocent either, so I get that, but it's Walt came and saw this thing and flung him away, so naturally he thought that Danny pushed him into the wall. Okay. Yeah, meanwhile she's, I don't remember how far along. She's pretty far along though. She's pretty close to birth here. And given as it's twins, it's going to be earlier, premature. I think she was 6 months or something like that. But And then Honey was in Chris's vehicle with Chris and Bella, the Heather's cat, and also with Heather. Well, Heather was in the pharmacy. Oh, okay, I mentioned why, or I mentioned what happens there. But anyways, they were parked at the pharmacy. Heather went in for something, and he went to talk to Chris for something. I think maybe he saw Honey or something. It was like, oh, you need to be leashed. Yeah. Meanwhile, she was sitting in the car. She wasn't like roaming the parking lot or something. It threatened to like shoot her. I was like, ah. Chris was way too nice about this, I have to say. He did not even say a word about it. Now he's walked into the pharmacy and accused Heather of stealing because he thought he saw her drop a bottle in her purse. Which it did make it sound like that, but I knew there had to be a reason or something was up. Because Heather's not a thief. And her boss is like super duper rich, so... I know Heather's not rich, but... whatever. Had he waited a second, he would have seen her pull out the old bottle to compare it to the new one. Something about seeing what ingredients they had. And he called Heather a skink because he didn't like how she looked in her goth apparel to Brian. He called her that to Brian. While telling Brian to retire early, Brian almost got himself fired right then and there. But Chris and Heather held him back. Because at this point, he had followed Chris and Heather home. And so, yeah. It's a tad strange. Heather said she doesn't want to get married because she doesn't want kids. How does that stop you from getting married? Whatever. Adam and Melanie. Forgot her name. Adam and Melanie don't want kids. They got married. Whatever. I guess personal preference. Yeah. It's acceptable. Someone just stabbed Camille. I wonder if it was Clay. They clearly knew each other. Possibly an affair, I think, because his wife gets uncomfortable around her. Or it could be one of the siblings, because she doesn't want to sell their uncle's house who had just passed away. And all three has to agree in order to sell it. And then I forgot about Flora, their uncle's caretaker, because she didn't get her retirement package like she was told she would get by Camille. A lot of suspects here. So it didn't say anything about Clay and Camille at first, but she was also in the station to see Brian, first of all. And then she walked around because she knew Edward was there. No, not Edward, Clay. She knew Clay was there. And this was shortly after the whole thing with Danny and her wrist. So Camille walked in to Clay's, I keep trying to call him Edward, to Clay's office now, after he removed all of Edward's personal effects, including his name tag, or, yeah, whatever. Anyways, she walked into the office and was like, we need to talk. I was like, ooh. And then it stopped there, and we never knew what had happened. Oh well. Meanwhile, this was after she told people that she did not know them. I was like, ooh, she knows them. She knows them. Anyways, and then Clay's wife had also been here. This police station is very eventful today. To drop him off lunch or something. And so she saw Camille in the hallway. I think it was after she walks out of the office. Yeah, it was after. And so she I think it's trying to hide or something, or stay on the opposite side. Yeah, I think Camille walked the opposite direction. So I was like, how is she hiding in a hallway? But whatever. So I was like, why is she so uncomfortable with her? Clay went to the foundation to arrest Heather because Lucy, Camille's sister, lied and said she did see her slap Camille at their uncle's funeral, which she went with Brian because I think Brian wanted to know if the uncle's ghost was there, because they were pretty close for a while there. And in fact, the uncle is who introduced Camille to Brian to Camille. I don't remember how they knew each other though. Well, whatever. But yeah, so she was at the funeral. Marie slapped Camille, not Heather, because I think she like called her a skank too or something. A lot of insults going around. Poor Heather. But yeah, Marie did not like that, so she was like, ha, not thinking about the results of that. But luckily nobody like saw Heather slap her, obviously. And then Lucy, after Camille died, yeah, so she was stabbed to death, by the way. She ended up just lying. I was like, yep, I saw it. Oh, I didn't finish this note. Honey came out and barked at Clay because he was hurting Heather. Well, not really hurting, but it was just like, arresting her. Which, Honey is a pupper. So she was like, oh, you're hurting my human. What are you doing? And barked at Clay, which caused him to pull a gun out on her. Joe stepped in front of her at least. What a monster. Again, Chris did not say anything about this. You pull a gun out at my dog. He wasn't there. So, obviously I don't expect him to react as if he was. But if I heard about this thing, it's like, I'd be like cussing, screaming, fighting. I'd be like throwing hands. I don't care if it's after the fact. But Chris was way too nice in this book. I don't know if that's just poor writing, honestly, or what, but I don't know. It's just, maybe I'm just like projecting here because I would be pissed off. So, yeah. Oh well. Flora forged a will leaving her Camille's portion of the house. Meanwhile, the witness is also dead. So I'm like, how did she expect that to work? Whatever. The witness was like some random lady that the uncle went to church with. I don't remember her name, like Lydia maybe or some shit. I don't think it was Lydia. I don't remember. But I was like, whatever. Good luck. Camille was indeed having an affair with another married man. Gotta be Clay, I'm thinking. His wife had caught... Oh no, this is something different. So before they moved, because Clay and his wife had lived there also 10 years before, when Camille and Brian were getting a divorce. But then they had all moved apart, except for Brian, obviously. But before that, his wife had caught them in a conference room together, embracing. It was during like some Christmas party, and he played it off as if she was drunk. Yep, it's Clay. He's now in Heather's house trying to pull an original Walt situation. Literally, like, down to the type of suicide. Poor Honey was there too, but is hiding from him, like Walt said to do, because he'd hurt her. He shot Honey. How dare you, first of all. See if I could do this without crying, because I was absolutely sobbing during this. Nope, okay. Honey was being a good pupper and defending Heather, because at this point, they were upstairs in her room, and he had his rope, and he had already made her write a suicide note downstairs, and here they come up the stairs, and so Honey knew that he was going to hurt her, and so she comes... Where am I? Okay. Honey comes in and attacks him. Heather saw him reaching for the gun and knocked him out, but unfortunately he was able to pull the trigger first. Did I make a note? No, I didn't. So apparently even after all that, she didn't even get like a scratch on him. Not for the lack of trying. He just was wearing like some thick coat or something, or to try to hide himself, you know. So, poor Honey got shot for nothing. Ugh. Poor baby. Heather had told Camille to get Marie. She was with the real chief, and Danny and Walt. So Walt came to Heather's. Danny called Brian, who called Joe. So Joe put Clay in handcuffs. Clay went to kick Honey, as a vet was also there working on her. Because he was like, oh, one good kick, and they have to take me around her to just call me Bella the cat. Just evil person. Walter Murray, though, was watching, and he did not know that. Obviously, he didn't know Marie was even there. But when he went to kick, when he went to kick, he twisted his ankle, or Walter Murray twisted his ankle pretty hard. I don't know. Whenever will we do? Clay was hurt. They should have stabbed him violently. Which is ironically what he did with Camille anyways. He stabbed her, so... in the back, too. Poor Camille didn't even know who killed her. And she, poor girl, was actually thinking that... oh, also they did have an affair, by the way. She thought that he was there to kill Heather because he thought that Heather killed her. No. Poor Camille was thinking he was innocent. So Clay is one of those type of men that wants to have kids for the appearances. And I think at first she couldn't have kids, his wife. Or she could, but I think they were struggling. That's what it was. Yeah, so they were struggling. And so basically it became like it always is when, you're struggling to get pregnant, is the sex life became basically like a chore. You're scheduling it and everything. Which, not that scheduling it is an issue, but, for him it was. And so he stepped out to have some fun. And she knew that. I'm like, why did you even stay? But whatever. Although, granted, we didn't see any of it, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was abusive to her. Given that he was literally a murderer, and how he treated Honey. But anyways, like I said, we didn't see any of that, so I don't know. Where was I? Oh, but yeah, him and Camille had an affair for a little bit. Poor Brian. He finds out his ex-wife's dead, and then finds out he was cheated on, which I know it's been like 10 years, but still, that's gotta hurt. Poor Brian. But anyways, and then I think she threatened him or something. I wasn't real clear on that, on why he suddenly killed her. Oh, there was a reason. So close to remembering it. Oh, yeah, that's right, because of the affair. Because he thought that she was going to tell the wife about the affair. Turns out the wife knew anyway, so it's... the whole book was pretty useless here. Or pointless. Walt and Chris were talking while Honey, Matt, and Danny took a nap. She doesn't have to wear a cone if she leaves her bandages alone. She made it through surgery in good condition. This is the saddest part. She apologized to Walt for not obeying to stay away from Clay, but she wanted to protect Heather and accepted the risk. Good pupper. I'm so close, don't cry. Apparently Camille did create a will, leaving everything to her brother, so Flora did all that for nothing too. I didn't make that connection until now, that as I'm reading these notes here, that everything was for nothing. Honey attacking him and getting shot was for nothing. Although she was a good pupper. And it proved that she will defend her humans. Because they weren't sure that she would, or at least Chris wasn't. Because of how, she's scared of everything and everything. Gotta say everything 5 times. How she's scared of everything. And how, she's not real skittish, but, yeah. But this proves that she will go out of her way to attack whoever is hurting them. Good pupper. I wish I could see her and know her. But anyway, so that was pointless though. Clay killing Camille was pointless because for that reason. I mean, obviously murder is pointless anyways, unless self-defense. But, or unless you're killing a pedophile, who knows? Whatever. There was something else. Oh, what I just said. What did I just say? Oh, yeah, the will. Flora trying to forge, which I did feel bad for her. She was hired to take care of this guy, and she did for quite a while, and then all of a sudden she's expected to just leave and pack up and out, because what's her face, Camille, she was living at that house, and Camille was like, oh, I want you out by, like, next week, or the end of the week. And she was like, what the freaking heck? Give me some more time to find a place. Like, she lost the guy, too. I mean, I know they weren't family, but she was taking care of him. So, I mean, I did feel for him. So, lost her job and a living arrangement all in one go. And Camille went back on her word, was like, oh, I never told her any of that I'd take care of her afterwards, give her like a retirement package. Camille, I was not sad she died. I was only sad for Brian, which I don't think he really cared that she died either. No, which, go figure, he's moved on, obviously, so. Danny got to see her mom in a dream hop. Aww. She said the twins will be here sooner than they thought, so finish getting that nursery ready. And that the twins will come out with no C-section. Well, look. Clay took his brother-in-law's coins worth over $30,000 and disappeared. The same brother-in-law who, by the way, advocated for Clay to get the job. And by advocated, I mean pushed. Because obviously Eddie did not want to hire him for a replacement. He was wanting to go within, the internal. Yeah, no. So he hauled ass and left his wife and twins. Oh, by the way, eventually they did get kids and twins, who none of them are really raising because they're like little terrors, basically. Whatever. Danny's water broke during her baby shower at Melanie and Adam's house. Eva was able to speak directly to them. The birth took place quickly in the bathroom with Brian's help. So quick that none of them really realized what was going on. She just stepped out with some twins. I'm like, okay, freaking plot armor. The twins were ready to get out. Okay. Her first, time in labor took 2 minutes. Now, I don't know, literally how long, but basically it's what it felt like. Okay. I wish I had, their luck. Freaking plot armor. Addison Marie Marlowe is the girl's name, but they didn't say the boy's name. How odd. Stay tuned to find out. I had to rewind, and, well, not even rewind, because at this point the book finished. I had to go back to the end, because I was like, whoa, I missed the boy's name. What is his name? Yeah, it turns out now they just didn't even say it. I was like, freaking heck. So, we know the girl. Who did I say? Addison. I almost said Allison. I don't remember where Addison came from. She said it, and I totally forgot to note that down, but whatever. Marie, obviously, after Marie. So stay tuned to find out what the boy's name. Other than that, I didn't like this book. I did, but I didn't like that. I didn't like that poor honey got shot. Ruined it for me. Was not a fan. And also, it's just so easy on the bird. I wish the author would at least write some kind of complication, but not with the bird, but just a simple, it took 15 hours, which I think I don't know, but I've heard that the first bird takes hours. I know with my niece it took hours, but all night. I think I don't remember what time she was born. I think it was all the way up until the morning. I think we got the call around midnight. And then I think sun was up when she was finally born. So, by complications, I don't mean anything bad. I just mean normal, I should say. But to be fair, she does get kidnapped a lot and her house broken into a lot, so whatever, I guess. She has some hardships. Oh well. Let me know what you thought of The Ghost and the Twins, and if it had you sobbing like it had me.